So this is our drawstring bag. Okay, that's the bottom, and this is the handle. Okay. Hello once again, welcome to another tutorial. This is Miriam's Crafts, and today I'm going to show you how to crochet this beautiful drawstring bag here. So this is a nice and simple bag to crochet. This is the bottom. Okay, we have a bottom which is done using the camel stitch, and then here the handle. And with this bag, if you want, you can line it inside with lining and either put a zipper or drawstring onto the lining again. So I'm going to show you how to crochet this bag step by step, even if you're a crochet beginner. So let's see what you're going to need for us to crochet this drawstring bag. So for this tutorial, you're going to need a scissors, a crochet hook. This one is a 6mm crochet hook, and it corresponds to the size of yarn that I'm going to be using. This one here is 4mm thick polyester cord. If you don't have this type of yarn, you can use any other type of yarn that you have. Make sure that you're using a corresponding crochet hook. So even t-shirt yarn can do. You're also going to need a tapestry needle and 7 stitch markers. So let's begin. So you're going to begin with a chain of 11, and if you want a bigger bag, you increase the number of chains here. So I'm going to begin with my slip knot. That's one, and I'm going to chain 11. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So here we now have 11 chains. So let's begin our first round. So I'm going to skip the first chain from the hook, this one, insert my hook into the second chain and work 1 single crochet. So you would want to crochet this single crochet a bit loose, okay? And this is single crochet in US terms and double crochet in UK terms. So crochet it a bit loose like this, and then mark the first stitch. Next, put 1 single crochet in the next, another one. Okay, so I'm going to continue with 1 single crochet up until I'm in the last chain. Okay, so here I'm in the last chain, and we're going to put 5 single crochets, and we're going to mark 3 of those single crochets. So that's 1, another 1, 2, so I'm going to mark the second one, 3, mark it again, and 4, mark it again, and then we put the 5th one like this. Okay, so next we're going to start crocheting at the back of the chains. So you insert your hook here, putting 1 single crochet in each, and I'm also going to be hiding this tail as we crochet. So here 1 single crochet, next 1 single crochet, okay, like this. So let's continue up until we're here. So we're now here in the last chain. So you find that this last chain here is the back of the first chain. So we already have 1 single crochet in there, and in this one we put 5 on the other end, so we want to make sure that we also have 5 here. So instead of putting 5, we're going to put 4 plus this one. So you need to squeeze them so that they all fit here. So that's 1. So I'm going to put 4 single crochets, 1, and then 2, 3, we mark it again, and then 4, we mark it again. So this completes the first round. Okay, so this is the first stitch, and we've marked 6 stitches, 3 here and 3 on the side. So let's move on to the next round. So the next round, we're going to crochet the waistcoat stitch. Some call it the knit stitch. So in the front of each stitch, you find that we have a small V. Okay, this one, this V. Okay, in the next stitch we have this V, so we're going to be inserting our hook in between the V here. Okay, and our hook is supposed to come out through the space. Okay, so for the first stitch it might be a bit difficult because we squeezed these last stitches here, so but try to find the V, this one. Okay, so I'm going to set my hook here, and it should come out through that. Next, I work single crochet. Grab my yarn, pull through, okay, yarn over, pull through the 2 loops on the hook. That's our first waistcoat stitch. So I'm going to mark the first stitch. We move to the next one. Okay, this is the V, so you insert your hook, and at the back work another waistcoat stitch. Okay, the second one. Next, like this, another stitch. So I'm just going to continue up until we reach the stitch marker here. So you put 1 waistcoat stitch in each. Okay, so here we've reached these marked stitches. So in each of these marked stitches we have 3 this side and 3 on the other side. Okay, not including this one, but these ones and this one. So we're going to put 2 stitches in each. Okay, we're going to increase our stitches, so we're only going to increase in those marked stitches. So here you need to find your V first. Okay, this one, and in that one we're going to put 2 stitches. Okay, 2 knit stitches. So this is my next V here. Okay, so I'm going to insert my hook like that, and then work 2 stitches. That's 1. So put back the stitch marker in the first stitch of the 2, and then in the same space again I put another 1. Okay, 2. We move to the next one. So you find that this is part of the V that we're working, so the next V is this one. Okay, so we put 2 stitches there, so 2 knit stitches. Okay, that's 1, and remember to mark the first one, and then again in the same stitch we put another 1, 2. Okay, so you can see that we have increased the number of our stitches with 2, 1 here and then 1 here. So repeat again. Okay, so this is the V that we're working into, so the next V is this one. Okay, so insert here. Okay, and work 2 knit stitches, remembering to mark the first one. Okay, then the second one. So this side we no longer have marked stitches, so we're going to continue putting 1 stitch in each of the following. Okay, so here in between put 1 knit stitch. Okay, so you need to remember that the knit stitch is the waistcoat stitch, so at times I might interchange. I might say knit, I might say waistcoat. Okay, so I'm going to continue and then meet here. Okay, so here now these are the marked stitches, and we're going to put 2 in each. Okay, so let's first do this one. This one is not marked. Okay, so we move to the next one. So we just worked into this one, so the next 3 is this one. Okay, so remove the stitch marker and insert here. Okay, and work 2 stitches in there. That's 1, and mark it, and again 2, repeat in the next. So here, this is the V that we're working into, so the next one is this one. So make sure you don't do like this. Your hook is supposed to come out through this hole. Okay, and then work 2 knit stitches, 1 and then 2. Remember to put the stitch marker back. Then in the last stitch, this one, I'm going to remove the marker. Okay, that's 1. We mark it again, and then 2. Okay, so we're now back at the starting point. Remember, this stitch marker is marking the starting point. Okay, like that. So we want to achieve this part in here. Okay, so next we move to the next round, which is round 3. So with round 3, we're just going to be repeating what we did with round 2. So we put 1 knit stitch in each of the following stitches, and then when you reach this one that is marked, you put 2. Okay, so I'm just going to crochet here up to this point. So here I insert my hook with 1 knit stitch, so put 1 knit stitch in each of the following stitches. Let's meet here. So we're now here, the stitch that is marked, so we only put 2 stitches in the marked ones. Okay, so here I put 1 and then put back the stitch marker in the first one of the 2, and then again in the same stitch we put another stitch. So this is called an increase. We are increasing our stitches. Okay, we've put 2 in one stitch, so you find that the next stitch, this one, it doesn't have a stitch marker, so you do not put 2. Okay, I'm just going to put 1. Okay, like this. Okay, and then the next stitch, this one is marked, you put 2. The next stitch doesn't have a marker, you put 1. This one you put 2. You put 1 1, and then you repeat again here up until you're back here at the starting point. So we're going to be repeating round 2. Okay, making sure that in the marked stitches you put 2 stitches. So let's do that up until we have 6 rounds, a total of 6 rounds, and then come back. Right now we have 1 2, we're working in the 3rd one. We'll come back. So we now have 6 rounds. That's 1 2 3 4 5 6, and at this point you want to count the total number of your stitches, and you find that it will be an even number. However, for us to proceed to the sides, you need to make sure that it is an odd number. So here the total number of stitches that I have here is 56. So that is not an odd number, it is an even number. So odd numbers are 57, 59, 61, 63, and so on. So what we're going to do here is we're going to add 1 more stitch in this last stitch to make them 57. Okay, so you just squeeze 1 more stitch in this last stitch. Okay, so here I'm going to insert, okay, to make them 57, like this. So now we're going to proceed to crochet the sides. So the first round of the sides is going to be single crochet in the back loop. Okay, so I'm going to remove the stitch marker that is marking the first stitch. So you find that at the top of the stitch here we have the front and the back, the front and the back loop. So we're only going to be inserting in the back loop, and this is for the first round only of the sides. Okay, so pick up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, and then pull through. So I'm going to mark this first stitch again, and then in the next stitch insert in the back loop, work 1 single crochet like that. Again in the next 1 single crochet, in the next 1 single crochet. So you're going to continue with 1 single crochet in each stitch in the back loop only, right round up until we're in this last stitch. So here we'll finish the first round of the sides, this one, okay, of single crochet. So next we're going to change the stitch that we're doing, and we're going to start crocheting the camel stitch, and we're only going to do this for a few rounds and then we change again. So the camel stitch is similar to single crochet, just that instead of inserting your hook in the back loop or below both loops, we're going to turn and we're going to insert our hook in these back loops here, these ones, these small back loops, and this one and this one. Okay, and then you just work the normal way that you work a single crochet. So I'm going to remove the stitch marker here, and then you find that we have this back loop, but we're going to skip that one and then insert here. Okay, and then work a normal single crochet and over, and then pull through like that. Okay, so I'm just going to mark the first stitch of the round. We'll move into the next one, this back loop, okay, like this. So just put in 1 stitch, 1 camel stitch in each, okay, like that. And then next, so this is called the camel stitch. Next, like this. Okay, so we're going to continue with this pattern right round up until we're back here at the starting point. So here we finished the second round of the sides, which was camel stitch, this one. Okay, so we're going to repeat this previous round that we just did, and we're going to add 5 more rounds, so that for the sides we have 7 rounds. Remember, we started with this one of single crochet in the back loop, and then the next one was camel stitch. So we're going to add 5 more rounds of camel stitch, just putting 1 camel stitch in each stitch. So with camel stitch, remember we said you insert in this back loop, okay, some call it the third loop, and then work a normal single crochet. Okay, so remember to put back the stitch marker in the first stitch of the round. So let's do that and come back in the 7th round. Okay, so right now I've added 3 more, so we now have 5 rounds from the first round of the sides. So instead of adding 5 more rounds, I'm just going to add 4 more. So this is the 4th one that we're now working into. So a point that I wanted you to take note is that in this 6th round that we're now working into, we need to make sure that we crochet our stitches a bit more loose in preparation for the next type of stitch that we're going to switch into. So here, try to make the loop here a bit longer, okay, and then pull through. Okay, so we want this V to be a bit long enough for us to insert our hook through here, okay, in the next round. So try to crochet them a bit more loose in the next stitch. Okay, try to make it a bit long, a bit loose, and then pull through. Okay, so that even if you try to insert your hook, you can insert it freely. Okay, So I'm just going to continue with this 6th round. Okay, like this. And then come back to continue. Okay, so now we're finished. We now have 6 rounds for the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you can see that the 6th round is a bit loose than the rest. Okay, so let's continue to the 7th round. So here I'm going to remove my stitch marker. So here is how we crochet the pattern. So in the first stitch, I'm going to insert my hook below the top two loops of the stitch, and then work a normal single crochet like this. Okay, and then I'm going to mark this stitch. In the next stitch, instead of inserting below these top 2 loops, we have a V in the front, this one, okay, this V here. So I'm going to insert my hook behind the V like this, okay. And this is the reason why we crocheted the previous round a bit loose, so that it's easier when we begin this pattern. So you continue to work your normal single crochet. Pick up a loop, yarn over, and then pull through both loops on the hook like this. So you move to the next stitch, which is this one, okay, the 3rd stitch. In the 3rd stitch, you insert below the top 2 loops of the stitch and work a normal single crochet like this. In the next stitch, you insert your hook. So we've done this one, we move on to this one. So instead of inserting here, we come in front of the stitch, just behind the V, those front loops, those ones. Grab your yarn, go through, yarn over, pull through the loops on the hook like this. Okay, in the next stitch, we work normal single crochet. So you don't want your stitches to be too tight, okay, like this, and not too loose. Next, in the stitch, instead of inserting here, we come in front of the V, just behind the V like this, and then work a normal single crochet like this. Okay, so I'm going to continue with the pattern. You alternate a normal single crochet, and this one, this is the front post. Okay, so we have these 2 loops we're inserting behind the V or the front loops here. So you alternate, and then let's meet towards the end of the round. So here I'm at the end of the round, so I just did single crochet in the stitch, so I'm left with 1, 2 stitches. So here we did single crochet, so we move on to the next stitch. So instead of inserting below the 2 loops, I come and insert behind the V and work a normal single crochet. And then the last stitch is going to be normal single crochet like this. Okay, so we've completed the 7th round. So moving on to the 8th round, this is the first stitch of the round. So this was single crochet in the 7th round. Now in the 8th round, we are now inserting a hook behind the V. So a stitch that was single crochet, normal single crochet, is now going to be the front post single crochet like this. So grab my yarn, then pull through. So here we mark this one, and then the next stitch, this one, it was front post in the previous round. So in this round, we're going to insert a hook at the top and work a normal single crochet like this. And then the next stitch, this one, okay, it was normal single crochet in the previous stitch, so this time we insert behind, sorry, the V, behind the V, and then like that. Okay, so I'm going to continue with the pattern, alternating just like we're doing in the previous round, up until the round is done, and then we repeat again, making sure that a stitch that was single crochet, normal single crochet in the previous round, in the current round it becomes the front post single crochet. So let's do that, and then I'm going to add a few more rounds and then come back to show you. Welcome back. So this is our bag, and here we now have a total of 22 rounds, that is from this point up to this point. So if you still want to add more height to your bag, you just keep on adding more rounds at the top here. So you find that our edges are not that even and our stitches at the top here. So we're going to change our stitch and we're going to crochet slip stitch for the final rounds, just maybe 2 rounds of slip stitch, and then we finish off. So here, and we're going to crochet this slip stitch in the back loop. So this is the first stitch of the round. So we have the front and the back loop. So I'm going to insert in the back loop and over, pull through, and then pull through the loop on the hook like that. So remember to mark the first stitch. So in the next one, this one, insert in the back loop and then pull through, insert, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through the loop on the hook like that. Again like that. So I'm going to do this right round up until we're back here at the starting point. Okay, so here we've done slip stitch and now we're back at the starting point. So I don't think we're going to add another round of slip stitch. Our edges look a bit nicer than before, so we're just going to finish up here. So I'm going to leave a tail so that we can fasten off. So next we want to put the drawstring here. So give your bag a bit of shape like this. Okay, since we have an oval bottom, try to shape the top part of the bag into an oval like this. Okay, so I'm going to be using this cord because it is a bit thick. However, if yours is a bit thin, you can do a chain and use a chain as the draw cord. So I'm going to use a needle to insert the drawstring into the bag. So here, this is going to be the front of the bag, and I chose this side to be the back because we have this part here, okay, when we changed from this stitch to this stitch. So this is going to be the back side and this is going to be the front side. So here you're just going to look for the center here, okay, and then at the top here, insert, then I'm going to come here, okay. So on the side we're not going to show our drawstring on the other side. Okay, right, like that. Okay, so that's our bag, and then the other side. So now let's crochet the handle. So I'm going to leave a tail of about 30 centimeters, and I'm going to make a slip knot. So I'm going to chain 52. If you want your handle to be longer, you increase the number of chains, and if you want it to be shorter, you just reduce the number of chains. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is our chain of 52. Next we're going to move to the next row. So here 10. So we're going to skip the first chain from the hook, and we're going to turn our chain so that we insert our hook in the back bars or this back loops. Okay, so you skip the first one, this one, and you're going to insert your hook here, and you're going to crochet slip stitch. So you pick up a loop and then pull that loop through the loop on the hook like that. Okay, let's do another one. In the next, insert your hook, pick up a loop, and then pull through the loop on the hook like that. In the next one, insert, pull through, pull through. Okay, insert, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through again. Okay, so we're going to repeat the pattern of slip stitch up until we're at the other end. So this is our handle so far. Okay, we've done the first row. Now moving on to the next row, which is the second one. You chain 1 at the end here, and then you turn. So we're going to be continuing with the pattern of slip stitch, but this time we're going to insert our hook in the back loop only. So this is the chain 1 that we just did, and it does not count as a stitch, so our first stitch is this one. So we have the front and the back loop. Okay, the front and the back loop. So we're going to insert in the back loop only and crochet slip stitch like that. So in the next, in the back loop, slip stitch. So this time we want to increase the thickness of our handle. This is the back loop like that. Okay, the front, the back, then crochet slip stitch. So I'm going to continue with this one up until we're at the other end here. So here at the end of the second row, just to show you, I chain 1, and then you chain again and repeat what we're doing. Okay, insert in the back loop and then put a slip stitch like that. Slip stitch in another one, slip stitch. Okay, so let's continue with this row and then put another row again and then come back. So this is our handle. I've done 4 rows of slip stitch, and if you want to increase the thickness, you keep on adding more rows here. So one thing also that you need to note is that you need to make sure that you're crocheting into the very last stitch in the end here. Otherwise, you will not have straight edges here. One other thing you can do to see if you are crocheting all the stitches is you can count them. we chained 52, so our stitches at the top here should be 51. Okay, so here at the end I'm going to leave another tail just like we did the other end, so about 30 centimeters, and then we cut. And then here you're just going to pull through. So this is our handle. Okay, so let us join this to the back. So here, this is our handle. Now we're going to attach it to the back. So we're going to use a needle again. So we want to attach the handle on the side. So we have this part where this drawstring is sticking out like this. So you want to come in the middle. So just go a few centimeters down, but making sure that it's on the middle side. Okay, like this. So how many stitches are this? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so just leave the small space at the bottom here. So we're going to join onto the back. Okay, so we've attached this side. Okay, so whichever way you want to join here, just make sure that it is neat and that when you finish, your handle is firmly attached to the back. So again, you come this side, this part where we have the drawstring sticking out, and we're going to use a tapestry needle again, and then we're going to join again nice and neatly on this part. So I'm going to do that and then come back. So here we've joined the handles to the bag, and this is our bag. Okay, and if you want, you can line the inside with lining and put a zipper or another drawstring onto the lining. So here, okay, so this is our bag. Okay, that's the bottom, and this is the handle. Thank you for watching Mima's Crafts. Please do subscribe, like, and comment for more videos. Thank you.